Good evening and welcome back. And we continue tonight with the Spurs save. Can we rebuild Spurs? The goal is to get into the top four and to have a decent cup run as well. Can we achieve both? Let's hope so. Hey Space Cadet, how are you doing? Good evening, Andy. Good to see you here too. Excellent. We got some people in. Should be a chatty one tonight, which is good. And well, what was the start like? It wasn't brilliant, was it? We beat Birmingham 3-1. That Manchester United result was pretty poor, but it was a good result against Manchester City. And when we look back at this, I guess we can say it's okay because we've had a weakened team for weeks now. And what with the Asian Cup going on and the African nations going on, plus all the injuries we've had, it's been a very weakened team. So against those teams, United and City, I guess we'll take a point there. We are still in fourth, so we should be on target for let's aim for a top four finish. I'd like to think it's good enough to be a top four finish. However, there's a number of players wanted. Just looking down the list here, Oliver Skipp is wanted. I won't have any problem letting him go. We'll bring in 20 million, and so I wouldn't have a problem letting him go. Brian Gill is wanted. Again, wouldn't have a problem letting him go. 26 million seems like a fair deal to me. Sessegnon, again, wouldn't mind him going out. He's still worth a little bit of money. Of course, all these players are not going to go. Iago Santiago, he's just a young boy, and so if he needs to go, he can go. And then Son is the one that is wanted, 91 million. I don't want to lose Son. We're only going to be a season here at Tottenham, and I'd like to keep Son if I possibly can. However, if he does need to go, we've got players coming in. And these two at the top are just young kids, but we have made a bid and waiting on a work permit for João Neves. 19-year-old boy from Benfica wants to come in as a squad player. He's cost me a lot of money. 58 million rising to 87 million, 145,000 in wages. But I think he's a very good player. For a 19-year-old, he's got some very nice attributes. And I'll be happy to be playing him a bit as the season progresses. Need to work on his weaker foot when he comes in. But boy, I think he is, Andy, I think I agree with you. I think he is a very good player, very good signing. And will sit in here and do a very nice job for me as the deep line playmaker when required. Good that he's coming in as a squad player. And then the other one, and whether or not I can afford both, I've made a bid for him. 21.5 mil up front. He is called Chris Furich, and he's a left winger or a right winger. And again, he's got very, very good attributes. It's cost a little bit of money, but I think he's a very good player. And what I liked about him was his form at the moment. And he is in exceptional form at the moment. 26 years old. And a good signing, I think, for the next 3 or 4 years for Spurs. And I think he'll do a very nice job on the wing. So if Son does get sold, then we have a winger who can replace Son. And we'll make the club a bit of money, because I don't think, as we come up to the end of the transfer window, I don't think I'll be doing any more business. There isn't much in terms of the scouting available. So I guess we will have a lot of money to spend, but you don't want to be going and spending like 80 million or even over 100 million just with one day's thinking time. And I think in terms of the squad, it will be a good squad to go through half a season. I think it should do quite well, this squad, if we can get players fit, and once we get players back from their international competitions, I think it'll be okay. In terms of injuries, we've still got injuries, and we've got 3 games to get today. Stockport in the cup. I remember with Notts County, in the very first season with Notts County, the bogey team was Stockport. And I'm wondering, has FM remembered that? Are Stockport going to do us in? And it is interesting that we've got Stockport in the cup. And then Liverpool, of course, going to be a very, very big game. We should go into that thinking we can win it. We did well against Man City. And then Brentford. And hopefully we'll do the business against Brentford. But 4 points from those 6 and the cup victory will be enough for me at the moment. So in terms of finances, we do still have 111 in the bank. And I think those 2 transfers come to 21 and 58, 79. And so that should give me enough money to clear the overspend on the wage budget, if not all of it, but to get it down really near to where it should be. So hopefully all is on course, and we'll get these boys in and hopefully start building. Hi Simon, how are you doing? And we'll start doing the business here and getting into the next round of the cup and into the Champions League. I don't want to change the team anymore, and I'm going to go with the original team that I selected. I did take advice, and he always does then change his mind. But I think Stockport is a game we should be winning, and so we'll go and play against Stockport now. And I better check that I haven't got the sound on and all that nonsense. Music is on, match sounds off. Comprehensive. And so off we go. We go into the FA Cup 4th round. And we will... did I say hi, Simon? I can't remember. See, that's my memory. It's like when you get to my age, your memory plays tricks on you. But hi, Simon, anyway. And And I think we should be saying, yeah, this is a match we should be winning. I want to see a strong defence. I'm expecting control of the midfield. And I want Pedro, who is making his debut. He is the signing that we have brought in up front, and he will make his debut. And I'm hoping that he can bag himself a goal or two. He is playing as a deep line forward on a support role. He's good at that role, and so hopefully should be able to slot in. It's a good game for him to make his debut, and hopefully can contribute and make a very positive impact. We need to play as we play, get the ball forward, play at a high tempo, and run at them, and hopefully beat them. But it's not been the most auspicious start. But since we've taken over at Spurs, they have been slow starters. And I'm wondering if that's something to do with the update as well, because Coritiba have suddenly become slow starters as well. And I don't know. We've had a few games where we started particularly bad but come into the game later on. We should be beating Stockport, though, quite easy, but they are a bit of a bogey team for Notts County, and hopefully the game doesn't remember that. And let's get it forward, boys. Let's get it into the box. And that's a nice pass. Pedro has his first touch as a Tottenham player. I'm hoping for big things from Pedro. He's cost a lot of money and needs a kind of specialist forward to play in this style that we're playing, where the wingers are going past, the inside forwards are going past a deep lying forward. It's how kind of like Spurs have played for a couple of years. And I think if we have a look at him, his finishing is extremely good. He's a very composed player. His physicals are not bad. I mean, I wouldn't say he's the greatest forward in the world, but I would say he's decent. He's got good technique. He dribbles well. I think he's strong enough to hold the ball up, and his passing and vision are good that he can bring players into the game. He's got decent decisions, not as good as I would want them. That probably lets him down as a deep lying forward. But I think he's a very good player. And I think you're right, Andy. I think he does a job. And at this level, it's very difficult to find extremely good forwards, especially in FM24. People didn't seem to have much problem in FM23. Finding very good forwards is not so easy in FM24. But we're in, and that was a chance, and Brian Gill should be sold after that miss. What a dreadful miss. And probably now we'll have a look at Brian Gill later. We'll probably find that nobody's interested in him after he missed that opportunity. Put himself in the shop window and misses something like that. But Lo Celso as well. But was it saved? I think it might have been tipped over the bar by the goalkeeper. So come on, boys. I've been asked to do a video by one of my subscribers has asked me to do a video on set pieces. And it's probably a bit of a wake-up call for me, actually, because set pieces is not something that I even bothered with. I just kind of get the best set piece coach that I possibly can and let him get on with it. And I was going to ask you guys, do you do your own set piece construction, or do you just leave it to your set piece coach? I've been a bit lazy with that regard, and so I do need to do some study and some work on it. That's one of the projects that I'm starting from this week. What do you guys do? Do you just let your set piece coach do it? Or do you set up your own set pieces? It's just an interesting part of the game, which, because I have no idea if it makes any difference. I know training in general in FM24 doesn't seem to make any difference. Doesn't matter what you do. But I don't know about set pieces. I would think that because it's so new, that it would make a difference, because I think they want you to use it. And I don't know. Has anybody seen any videos on set pieces where somebody is saying that if you set your own up, it's absolutely amazing? I don't know. I've been a bit lazy on that, so I do need to do some research into that one. We're pretty much dominating this game, but once again, look, shots on target ratio is poor. I don't want to change the system. I don't need to change the system, which had got Tottenham to the point where they were second in the league. I think the bad form or the bad run is due to the fact that we are struggling for players at the moment. And just perhaps a tad out of form. But at the moment, Stockport are not actually causing us any worries at all. Their passing is not absolutely outrageously good. We are much the better team. Just need to score a goal. Set piece is not really... So you do your own corner routines, do you? I mean, I've heard things like short corners are quite good to use. I mean, I have to do the research, try things out, which would be a fun piece of research for a video. But I have heard somewhere along the line that if you try short corners and do them occasionally, they can be quite effective. I don't know. You guys would lead me on that one, I think. Not seen any other creators. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I see, like, in your comment, Andy. Finally we've got the goal, Brian Gill. And I bet there's going to be lots of interest in that young man now. And I like your comment where you said that creators are just like repeating each other almost on a daily basis. Somebody does one thing and everybody then does a video on it. I haven't seen on my feed many videos about set pieces, to be perfectly fair. I can't remember seeing one come up on my feed. Simon saying I do short corners and put my highest jumping reach players, usually my CB. Where would you put your highest jumping reach players? So would you go back post for crossing or far or near post? Does it allow you to do that? I mean, I don't know. It's going to be a fun bit of research getting into something that I've not even ever looked at. I've always believed, and Cora T. Burv backed me up on that one. I've always believed that if you have a great set piece coach, then you'll score more than average. But I'm not sure that that's actually coming to fruition now. Because Tottenham have got a decent set-piece coach, I think. Certainly my other clubs did have good set-piece coaches. Oh, Lo Celso with a free kick. I'm just looking at Pedro and his mood. He's composed. He's not unhappy. He wasn't unhappy about playing this deep lying forward. And he is coming nicely. He's coming deep nicely. But we're not giving him the ball. That's a bit unfortunate. That's probably because he's making his debut. But he should be coming deep and they should be giving him the ball, which is not happening yet. But I don't mind, as long as we win this game, he's going to have time to bed in, and this is a good game to give him his debut. But centre-backs near post for corners. I don't think that's changed since FM22. Near post is king. I do in-swinging near post. Instruct my set-piece coach. Near post corners in-swinging. I don't think that's changed since 22. Stockport have nothing to offer in this game, which worries me a great deal. Because we've absolutely taken them apart, but we've got one goal to show for it. And that really worries me. And I wonder if I should push the line up a little bit. I don't see we're under any threat. I'm just going to try pushing the line a little bit higher up to play the game more further up the field, get our defensive line up by halfway. I don't see them as giving us too many problems at the moment. I like these inverted wing-back roles. It's really the first time I've played with inverted wing-backs. And I like those roles. And it's a chance. And Lo Celso finally makes it 2-0. What a manager. Push the line up 2-0. And I'm not sure, though, that it's taken any effect yet. But I'm claiming it, of course. And with the inverted wing back, and that was quite interesting because he came out wide initially, fed the ball to Werner, but then immediately made a run inside. And what it creates is, because you've got Pedro Porro there, and you've got Udogie there, and you've got this like 5 in midfield here, and it's quite interesting, these wing backs, inverted wing backs on attack, and those 5 players. Anything that comes out to this area of the field, we're going to outnumber the opposition. And I quite like those inverted wing backs, but they do stay wide and run wide when it's necessary to go wide, so they don't always come inside. So I quite like those roles. They look quite good. It looks quite good. And not one key pass from Stockport. We've pretty much played them off the field. There's another chance, and this time it's Dragusin who's put it away. And I've no idea who he is. Oh yeah, centre-back. I completely forgot. Is it going to be given offside? Didn't look offside to me. Oh, it was. I completely forgot who Dragusin was then. I shall call him Radu. Probably prefers to go... You can't draw the lines after the ball has been kicked. I think that we've been cheated there a little bit. Draw the lines at the point where he kicks the ball, not at the point where he's heading it. He's offside again, is he? Oh, he's hit the post. Must have been not offside then. So starting to look a little bit better, this squad, as the team hopefully will gel over the next couple of games. Liverpool is a big game. If we win that one, that'll be a big, big result. But I won't be too unhappy if we don't. We'll need to beat Brentford then, though. Because I don't want any slide down the table. The board are actually quite happy in terms of qualifying for a Champions League place. They say in their little message that they weren't expecting it so soon to be in the top 4. So they're obviously quite pleased. Dragusin is on a yellow card. Probably needs to be told, not that, to just come off the harder tackles at this point. The match momentum we have, it's all Tottenham. We're 2-0 up. It should be game over. We look a little bit more dangerous now that we have pushed the line much higher up, but that is bound to happen. because it's a risk. You take risks, risk meaning you will attack more, but you'll be more vulnerable at the back. So we should be looking more dangerous, and we are looking more dangerous now. But the vulnerability at the back, I can see all these players bombing forward. That's the risk that you take when you play with that high line. You get caught up the pitch. And that's a warning. Against bigger teams, you will get caught out there. So although Tottenham do play with this very, very high line, I think I made the right call to just play with a higher line rather than a much higher line, which gives us a better chance against the bigger teams. Oh, what was that? What on earth was that? Well, that was just disastrous defending. There was no danger. And the goalkeeper made a right pig's ear of that. Goalkeeper's not playing very well, really, considering he hasn't had anything to do. Is it going to be the curse of Stockport? I mean, Son is on international duty at the moment. That's the answer to that question, Falgum. The Asian Cup is going on at the moment, as well as the African Cup. So I'm short of a lot of good players. I'm going to say I don't think this is good enough. I'm going to say we're ahead on the scoreboard and deserve to be. I don't want to give them too much praise, though. Because one more goal and they'll be behind. And that was a bad tackle. Come on, referee, send him off. No, he was with us. I think he played one game and then got injured. And then when he recovered from his injury, he got carted off to the Asian Cup. So he hasn't actually featured much in the team. I think only about 30 minutes. So he's been conspicuous by his absence, but hopefully we'll have him back in a couple of weeks, depending on how well Korea do, and that he'll be back and ready and raring to go. That's my hope. He is wanted and he does want to leave. Whether we're going to get the 91 million for him, I don't know. I'm going to try and hold out. There's only 3 days left in the transfer window, so I'm going to try and hold out. Hey, the Villa player, how are you doing? It might be time to make some subs. I certainly want to check the opposition instructions. Timo Werner is not playing very well at the moment. I've noticed that. I don't know whether that's because FM just doesn't think he's a great player, or whether it's just he's in a period where he's not playing very well. Difficult to say. Well, that'd be interesting. Of the Villa player, a Liverpool and slot rebuild. That would be interesting. What made you think you wanted to do that then? I'm thinking of selling this team. This is Stockport that they can't put away. Although it always has to be said, like, For Stockport, this is their cup final, and you always expect to romp home 7-0 against these teams. But for them, it's their cup final. And of course, you're never going to beat them 7-0, no matter how good your team is. In real life, teams do struggle and really only take the game in the last 30 minutes because the smaller opposition do play their lives depend on it for the first hour. And so I don't suppose we should be too concerned just beating them 2 or 3-1. I actually don't know much about how he plays tactically. I would have to do some reading. Is it given as a penalty? Looks like a penalty to me. Well, it's very kind of you to say, Falgum. Very kind of you to say. It might actually be a good idea to do some videos on these coaches that are not under the spotlight. He's certainly a good one to try and replicate the tactic. But for me, it would take a little bit of research before I'm ready to go there. Okay, let's go and make some changes. What are you thinking, Simon? Pedro hasn't been playing particularly well, so I'm going to give Johnson a try up there. Actually, no, I'll bring Johnson onto the wing. And Timo Werner can try up top. Or maybe actually let's give Scarlett a run out. Johnson was the one that came on, and let's try young Scarlett up there. Yeah, he's probably good enough to play as a DLF. Goalkeeper, nightmare. He was terrible for that goal. Midfielder doing really well. Nobody's particularly tired at the moment. So I'm just going to leave it at that one sub. We'll just get Pedro, who didn't cover himself in glory on his debut, but then I wasn't expecting him to in FM. I think I want to go and ask my assistant, though, to just run over this. Bristow seems to be the only person who's put a decent pass together. I'm trying to, yeah, it's from the real world, yeah, but I've made a couple of signings myself, but it's in the January window. I didn't make any signings. Ah, finally, Udogi. I didn't make any signings in the summer window, so I just let it run as... And I've made a couple of signings in the January window. Of course, because I've lost players in January. So I've had to make some signings. But yeah, I've tried to... I always start my saves in real world because I like it better that way. I just think it makes it more real, I guess. And yeah, this is a real world one. Well, what you find is once you pop into real world, like we had to sell, Richarlison was sold. That was nothing to do with me, but he didn't get sold in real life. So there are obviously, once the game kicks in, the game does its own thing. And unfortunately, I was a bit annoyed Richarlison was sold, and I didn't even realise that he was transfer listed or had actually done a deal. But this looks good. It's now time to get some of these tired bodies off the pitch. I'm going to bring Vicario on, the goalkeeper, just to get him back to fitness. He's been out injured. Sessegnon, who is probably going to leave us, can come on for Udogie. Skip is very tired, so Sarr can come on for Skip. Sarr is probably better off playing as the deep line playmaker there. And I don't know yet. We'll leave just one. But we are safely through, hopefully, to the... Well, we should be now. To the next round of the Cup. I'm going to pull the line back, start closing the game off now. Let's pull the line back, first step. Pushing the line up did the job. Now we can bring it back to where it was. Who is Pep Linders is the question. You've got me on that one, Simon. Who is Pep Linders? Just looking at tiredness, nobody particularly. Oh, and another penalty, referee. He wants to go, Tails, but at the moment, he's still at Tottenham. We've got 3 days of the transfer window left. And so I'm going to try and hold on to him. Obviously, for me, he's an important player in the second half of the season, but he does want to go. And that is 4-1 now. Liverpool's assistant coach. I'm more wondering where the likes of Van Dijk might go, or Salah. I'm more wondering where those two guys might go. Even Trent Alexander, it's possible he could go. Right, let's make another substitution. Bentancur. Let's give Santiago a little run out. Why not? So, Tails, I just want to try and keep hold of Son. I might not be able to in the next 3 days. He hasn't actually played, apart from 30 minutes in one game. So I don't know whether it's possible to keep hold of him. We shall see. I'll do my best. I'm not going to take any nonsense payments. I'm going to insist that 91 million is value, that's what we want. Just close the game off now a little bit. Slow the pace down. It's probably good enough now just to see this game out. Lo Celso has had a very, very good game today. Producing all the key passes. You just sold Son. How much did you get for him, as a matter of interest? How much did you get? Did you get the 91 million? I mean, I think about it. There's only, 18 games that this team will have to play, plus maybe 3 or 4 in the Cup. So the squad should be big enough to get through half a season. Nice tackle. It's a bit worrying. He's on a yellow card. Finally. Well, no, that's Vicario now. So Vicario's back in business. He's been out injured. Oh, that would have been nice, but Lo Celso has had a very good game. I've been very impressed. You got the 91 million. Yeah, if it's a Saudi club, you'll probably get the 91. I just don't want to panic buy, though. Especially given that my scouts are not finding any really good players. I don't want to panic buy unless something comes up on transfer deadline day that would really improve the team. And it does need improving, there's no doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt. And we have got a winger in, a very good winger, who will play instead of Son if he gets sold. Oh, another one. But he's been given offside, has he? Checking for offside, possibly. Didn't look offside to me. Yeah, I don't know why they checked that one. Looked like a perfectly good goal to me. Although, I don't know, he did come back from an offside position, and I thought the ball came backwards, but it actually went forward. Ooh, that's close. Yeah, Tails, I'll be happy to get to Champions League to 4th place and get to the semi-final or final of the Cup. That's the goal. First season. They're still learning to play this way. So, yeah, I'll be very happy to get Champions League and to get to the semi-final of the Cup would be a good achievement. Yeah, you'd have to spend the 91 million, though, before the end of the season, wouldn't you? That's the only thing. Depends where you sold him, I guess. Grasse. 20 million release clause. Interesting. Well, that one's done. 5-1 in the Cup. Win and a good performance, that'll do for me, boys. Next up, Liverpool. Not so easy. He didn't play very well, Pedro, as far as I'm concerned. Only got a 6.6, but people don't seem to play very well on their debuts anymore. It does happen, but it's not something that happens a lot. Oh, Scalvani, a 20-year-old wonder kid. Like his mentals for 20. I like his mentals. Nice price on him, but he would be a very good player for the future. "6'5", centre back or DM. Very nice player for the future. Good centre back. So there are options, I guess. If we do sell Son, then we still only have 3 really good centre backs. So maybe if Son does go, And at the moment, I'm like a manager sitting there in his office just doing this. Can I survive the transfer window now? And because I don't want to make any more waves, any more changes. I think there's enough disruption gone on within the squad. I don't think it needs any more disruption. Neves is set to sign for Tottenham. I'm just thinking, do I need to... it's too late now, isn't it, to rest them? Sunday, we're going to take a chance. I'm going to rest them for a day. Rest them for Monday. Yeah, they are very pleased to sign Mr. Neves. So am I. I think he's a decent signing. Just coming in as a squad player, which means I don't have to play him in place of the two who are away at the African Cup. But he's a good rotation option. I actually like the look of that team. I'm not sure about putting João Neves in for his debut at this point, but not quite like the look of that team. What's his natural? Carrilero. So this is the first time he will have played. Basuma is who I want to play that role. So Basuma will be the boy going up, and Sa will be my DLP. And where are my left backs here? Udogie resting. Probably could do with bringing in a left wing back, couldn't I? Sessegnon will do the job. Paro, Kulusevski. I actually quite like the look of that team. Let's just check the bench. They should all become available on the day that we play Liverpool now. That will be my error if... Oh, FA Cup draw today. Let's skip the draw and then let's see who we get. Middlesbrough. Oh, we're getting all the old teams from the saves, aren't we? Middlesbrough in the Championship. Again, we should win that. Maybe there is a little cup run coming on here. Expectations defeat the border and not very optimistic. Let's go back to... Yeah. Mickey van de Ven, Udogie, Bentancur. Yeah, I didn't want to play him on his debut, but these boys are now back available. So Van de Ven can come in here. Udogie can play. And... Bentancur. And we don't need him there now. Timo Werner. can go onto the wing. I think that's probably a decent enough team. Son is coming back 11th of Feb, so still away off. Bissouma is 4th of Feb, so still a little bit of few days for him. Oh, well, so we'll have Lo Celso on the bench now. Emerson Royal will be one of the fullbacks. And we'll play Ben Davis as the other one. João Neves comes onto the bench. He might make his debut today. And Gill on the bench. And the Scarlet, I think. Might as well give Scarlet some game time while the others are away. And that'll do for the bench. $98 million on Wirtz. I'm not used to having that kind of money. It's quite like I do teams like Notts County and Coritiba and Hiroshima, and like this is the first time I've come across large amounts of money, which is quite scary for me a little bit at the moment. Having this kind of money, which now has gone down to 3 million, and we're okay with the wage budget, so that must mean yeah, that the other boy has come into the squad, but I can't see him anywhere. So where is he? I can't even remember what his name was now. It's not listed there. So something's gone on there. Why have we not signed him and he's actually disappeared? That winger that I was talking about earlier, he's disappeared from the... And yet he's not in the squad. And there's no history of the transfer. Unless he must have been... He went somewhere else, I guess. He must have decided to go somewhere else. That's all I can think of. Interesting. Liverpool. I'm wondering about this. He keeps saying this. And I'm wondering now, because we have a deep lying forward, I don't think early crosses is the best way to play it. But it's going to be an interesting game. I may have to just watch these wing backs. We'll see how we start. But I think I might have to step on these wing backs a little bit and say, let's not be so attacking. And so we are heading for the game. No, we don't want to do it. I've been caught out so many times by this never press. Let's just go back here and check that he hasn't changed his mind, and he has. He's changed his mind big time. But we don't not never press Virgil van Dijk. I'm not expecting anything from this game. I think having drawn against Manchester City, we're probably going to lose this one. But we'll see. If we get off to a good start, I want the the fullbacks to be attacking at the beginning, the wing-backs to be attacking. But if we're getting caught out, we might have to play with their mentality a little bit. Hey Ben, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Yeah, you can see that we are going to be finding ourselves short at the back. So I do have to worry about those wing backs. So we just have to figure out which side Liverpool are. Oh, is it your birthday, Ben? Happy birthday, Ben. How old are you today, Ben? Just turned 30. Oh, gosh. Don't worry, you're only half my age, Ben. No, well, not even half yet. I wish I was 30 again. In fact, I can't remember that far back. So who are Liverpool? Liverpool are really pushing us back at the moment, aren't they? But we'll see how this goes for a minute. Because I do want these wing backs involved in the game. It's really, though, all about your forwards at the end of the day, isn't it? Are they getting shots on target or not? That's what this game is all about. It's a little bit isolated out there. Maybe that is the area that the wing back needs to be on a support duty, just to be supporting the winger out there. Oh, it's a terrible pass. Yeah, it is down the left that they're looking dangerous, isn't it? So let's put Porro on a support duty. They're looking a little dangerous down the left. Enjoy your drink, Ben. It's probably well earned. Interesting start. Liverpool have totally dominated it. Although possession-wise, we haven't done too bad. We really need to close that left-hand side down, though. Who is on their left? Diego Jota. Interesting. Now let's just hope they're putting Porro on a support duty. I can see that Curtis Jones and Szoboszlai are causing a few problems, especially Szoboszlai. But they've got tired players on the pitch, Liverpool. I'm not quite sure why. They didn't rest their players like I did, that's why. So this is about staying in the game if we can early on. So in fact, the left wing back will also put on a support duty. And stay in the game. We've had a little bit of the game, but we're still not creating anything. Oh, that's good. Now, release the ball. Oh, he's miles offside. Maddison's miles offside. I mean, this is good. I'll take a 0-0 against Liverpool, to be perfectly frank, because we've got some pretty winnable games coming up after Liverpool. So I would take a 0-0. Yeah, down the left is where they're playing. Trent Alexander is likely to score from a long shot, isn't he? Or a free kick. So I'm wondering if we should close down Trent Alexander. Oof, unlucky Pedro. Should we close down Trent? I think it's probably a good idea. Let's just tell the boys to close him down. I actually, because I've been doing small teams, I think I might have sold one player to the Saudis, but not for much money. But smaller teams, obviously, they're not interested in the players. But haven't had much experience of that. And we are like halfway through the FM year. And there's a lot of things I haven't had experience of yet, which is quite amazing. I think in the beta save, I had West Ham players who were taken by Saudi clubs. It's my only experience of it. Now we should get back into this game. If we can wait and stay 0-0 till 60 minutes and don't do silly things like that. Then we might have a chance of winning this. But if Van de Ven goes and does dull things like that, then we've got no chance. But that was a sign of the press, wasn't it? Van de Ven needs to get rid of the ball quicker, so we're going to deal with that. So we'll tell Van de Ven... Oh, we can't. We'll tell him to take fewer risks. Get rid of the ball. Well, 0-0 at half-time, I'll take that. So we need Timo Werner 6.4, Pedro 6.6, Kulusevski 6.4. This game is all about, there's my front four. Not one of them has got a decent average rating. And not really quite sure what I can do about them. I can swap those two over. Can Pedro play as a winger now? I could swap those two over. But we'll just do that for now. And I want to have a look at... yeah, Liverpool are tired. Solozabal is very tired. So at some point, I'm going to start upping the tempo here, attacking a bit more. Just want to keep an eye on their fitness. Although the fact that the opposition are tired doesn't really seem to make a difference to the opposition. It makes a huge difference to your team. But the opposition still seem to run around like they're 2-year-olds. I want a hard tackle Salobazai now because he's getting very tired. We already are. But we've certainly controlled them down the left, which is good news. And Trent Alexander has gone very quiet as well. No, I don't want to slow it down. Slowing it down is not a good idea at this point. We want to be more of an attacking force in a moment. Offside. Brennan Johnson. I think I sold him, didn't I? Can't remember. No, he's on the bench, isn't he, Johnson? Come on, boys, you got this. It's only Liverpool. Interesting game this afternoon, Liverpool-Tottenham. I thought Tottenham were going to come back in the second half. I really did. I could see it getting 4-3 and then being a very nervy 10 minutes, but they just couldn't put it away. Would have been very interesting if it had gone 4-3. I'd like to keep this one at 0-0 or 1-0 if you don't mind, FM. I mean, we're not taking too many risks. We're not creating too many chances at this point in time. But we've kept Liverpool to almost nothing. Another corner. We're starting to get more and more in the game by the look of it. So another corner. Come on, boys. I need to do some set piece work, don't I? I don't score many from corners. Throw-ins from here, always dangerous. Right, let's make some changes. João Neves, because Bentancur is quite tired. So João Neves can come on and make his debut. Pedro Porro probably needs to go into a more attacking role now. Let's get him attacking. Udogie, I'm going to ask him to attack now. 6.3 for Werner is not very good. 6.4 for Kulusevski. Oh, goodness me. So Brennan Johnson can come onto the left and Brian Gill onto the right. Maddison, I'm going to ask him to play as a playmaker. I don't know why, just we're not creating anything from deep. So let's try him out. And then we are going to go positive. And we are going to up the tempo. I don't want them to run at them anymore. Just pass it. We'll distribute quickly. We are fitter than they are. And I want them to trigger press more often. I want to up the energy in this game now. Let's see what we can do as an attacking force against one of the big teams. Can we do it? Gill isn't on. What? Oh, yeah. Lo Celso. He can't play out there. Oh, that was pretty poor of me. We're going to have to take him off. That was pretty poor. He's going to be fuming. Well, I'm old. I can get away with these things. But whether I've made the right decision to go more positive, I don't know. I just feel like I want to go and try and score a goal now. But we're probably more likely to concede one. I know how FM works. We're just not created enough. So I want to go and be a little bit more positive. Oof, that was close. And there is Mr. Gill heading it harmlessly to the goalkeeper. Right, let's... Oh, we'll wait for this corner because it's our corner. Oh, we've certainly given them a game as we did Man City. And I like the look of the players. So if we can avoid making any more transfers, coming into the last 10 games, we're going to have a good team if we can keep people fit as well. We'll have a very good team. Spread betting on the subs. I'm such a plonker sometimes with these substitutions. Lo Celso should be coming on now. Can I bring him on now? No. Udogie is tired. Ben, we'll give Ben Davis a run out at left wing back. That would have been another way to do it, Tails. Let's just get rid of him. I'm a bit upset with Maddison again. He's really, like, in FM, he doesn't seem to be a very good player. Robertson... Oh, turn him onto his right foot. And Cody Gakpo, he's an interesting one, isn't he? I think probably force him onto his left foot. Make him cross. Left foot and probably tight mark him. And then Harvey Elliott really needs to be closed. We'll tight mark Harvey Elliott. Just stop him passing. There's the two new boys, João Neves and Pedro. Pedro is on a 6.5 again. He's really struggling. He will come into his own, I'm pretty sure. He did come in as an important player, I think, so he's got to do better than this if he needs to keep his place. That was almost a chance. But we've got Liverpool pinned in now. We just need to keep up this tempo because they're tired. We're tiring a bit, but we are fitter at the moment than Liverpool are. What a chance! What a chance! Oh, you are kidding me. How did you miss that? The goal was gaping. FM. You would not have done that if it was a Liverpool player. We've certainly got them pinned down now. He just, like, I've not seen Maddison have a good game yet in this entire rebuild. He's just like not cutting it. Hey, get up, get up. Come on, boys, come on. We've got this. We can take them apart now. I'm half tempted to push the line up as well while we've got them pinned back like this. But they do have a lot of pace up front, so that would worry me a little bit. And a lot of dribbling skill as well. Chance. Oh, it's almost but not quite. All the time. Almost but not quite. Overall, I think second half we've been the better team, which is probably why FM will let Liverpool score in a minute. Salah offside. Absolutely, Andy. Just defensively we've been good. We stopped Liverpool from creating anything really. And we just haven't been able to put our chances away, unfortunately. Oh, another chance. Manchester United unrealistically winning all their games. I love it. Absolutely love it. Wish it was real life. Come on. There's only one team on the pitch now. We've done so well. It'd be really good to sneak a goal. Well, another chance. I know. It stayed out. How did that stay out? Oh, my goodness me. Go on, Porro. Go on, son. Oh. It's just one of those FM days, isn't it? It's just not willing for me to win this game. We should have won this. We've been like the last 25 minutes since I made those changes to go more positive. It's been one-way traffic. Only one team on the pitch. Come on, close him down. Nicely done, Pedro. That's what you're there for. Oh, was he fouled there, referee? Was that a foul? Come on, boys. There's a goal in this. There's got to be a goal in this. I know. Let's go attacking for the last 2 minutes. Go on. Get up there into their half now. Oh, gosh. Here's the counter-attack. Oof. I thought that had gone in then. I'd have been really annoyed. Man United marching on. Anthony Martial. That's harmless enough. Still 3 minutes left. That's a good point, Andy. Let's get them to shoot on sight. Just for the last few moments. If we can get one more or two more chances in the last 3 minutes. Oh, we've got Gill injured now, have we? Come on, boys. No, it's not to be. It's going to be full-time 0-0. 0-0 against Man City, 0-0 against Liverpool. I guess you'd have to take those, wouldn't you? I think we've been... Second half, we've been much the better team. And I think we deserve to win that. Tactically, we waited for them to tire. And, yeah, if we look at the numbers, up front we were poor again. But if we looked at those numbers, we should have beaten them. But we're still in fourth. Still all to play for. And we have Brentford to play now. Man United are just running away with things. 10 games unbeaten. That doesn't happen, FM. Get it, make it more real. Now, Brentford, Newcastle, Sheffield United, Burnley, Middlesbrough. Games we should be winning. I'd say good results. Man City and Liverpool, good results. Man United, I don't know what happened. I think the team was just... I don't know. We didn't have a team. We were scraping a team together. I think that's what happened with Man United. Like so many players injured. Let's rest them for a day. And let's get to the next game, Brentford. The goal is to finish in the Champions League spots. That's where we are at the moment. This is an opportunity. Cheltenham have been blah, blah, blah. That's fine. Newcastle talks. Newcastle, Man City. There's no talk. I'm not going to take part. I'm going to decline because I want it to go really quick. I don't want too much disruption. And the transfer window has finished by the look of it. Udogie under 21. João Neves under 21. Rosso under 21. All under 21 those. So we'll confirm that. Approach for Williams. That's nothing to do with me. That's the assistant manager. Come on. Let's get past this transfer window. Jaden Williams. He's supposed to be a good player, isn't he? Jaden Williams. Doesn't look very good in terms of attributes. A brave, aggressive team. And that's it. So we've kept hold of Son by the look of it. Carabao Cup semi-final, is it? Manchester City beat Everton, not surprising. Window is closed. I've no idea what happened to that winger, but we didn't need him in the end. And looking at the finances, probably couldn't have afforded him. So we've done well, and we're under budget. I don't think we need to do anything to this, do we? Just confirm that. On to Brentford. Really would love to get a good result here now. Son is still away. Dragusin was probably needs more game time, but Romero is back now. What did the board give me? A B. It's pretty good, I think, a B. Livingston making an approach. All my old clubs are coming back here. Dragusin. I'll go along with Dragusin coming in. But I'm not taking out Van de Ven. And I'm leaving those as they are. Maddison has to do better. Bissouma, 4th of Feb next game. So Sessegnon probably needs to come in for Ben Davis. This is James Rosewell. We don't need him there. We don't need him there. Romero is that geezer. Then we have Lo Celso, João Neves. I'm actually going to play Brennan Johnson in this one. Right or left? Kulusevski can come in for Maddison. I'm going to drop Maddison. He's been really poor. Bissouma, Alfie Whiteman, Osman, Oliver Skip. Brian Gill and Maddison. That will do in terms of the bench. I need a 3 points here. When the treble, they still give me a B. They don't like to give grades away for nothing, mate. Alfie Whiteman. Who's this? Nisotaki. Oh, she's a Japanese recruitment analyst. Very nice looking Japanese girl. Let's do this. I'm going to say, well done, son. Let's get the 3 points on the board, though, today. I can see us losing this game. This game is like really weird sometimes. Games we should be winning, we don't. I can see like we should be taking Brentford apart, and I can see this not going to plan. We want to be positive. I am going to up the tempo as well. So we're going to up the tempo. I want them to distribute quickly. That's fine. That's fine. Come on. Come on, boys. Aston Villa. Who are Aston Villa playing? Not playing today. Yeah, he's probably right. We are the away team. And that's about as much of that as I want to do. I'm happy with that. I don't know what's wrong with Maddison in this save. I don't think I've seen him have one good game. And that is, it's disappointing. He's a better player than that. And so we are underway. 3 points I want from this game, boys. Probably the best thing to give Maddison a few games off, give Johnson some game time. Boy's got pace, hasn't he, Johnson? Should be using that pace, which is what I think I want to try and do. We are running at them, playing at a high tempo, so we should be using the pace that we have up top. Oh, nicely done. Oh, what a chance. Hit the post again. How many times are we going to hit the post today? I think that was Pedro Porro, was it? Or Pedro who headed that onto the post. I think it was Pedro, wasn't it? I'm not quite sure if playing the high line is the best thing to do, or whether we should push up even more. We'll try it with the high line, and then we'll push up if we need to. Hi Lee, our new signings, we've made João Neves is a new signing, and Pedro up front. We needed a deep line forward. We brought in Pedro, and João Neves is the other signing that I've made in the winter transfer window, who's a very, very good 19-year-old. Evening bench. So I'm hoping that that's going to be enough. The good thing is we've held on to Son, which is the good news. I'd just like these other players like Kulusevski and Maddison and Timo Werner to start playing up top. They're not playing very well. They haven't been for the last 3 or 4 weeks. And I'd like them to start playing. Porro, he's having a shot from anywhere. Did I leave that on? I hope not. No, we should be working it into the box. It actually, I'm going to take that off because of the tempo that we're playing. Think about what Andy said. I'm going to take that off and don't have them slowing it down, but just taking shots. They are good strikers of the ball. They're technically good enough. And I think Andy might be right that we might be taking a touch too many. And we should just, like, when we get a chance, have a shot on goal. So we'll take that off for a little while and see how that works out. Oh, acres of space. Oh, poor first touch. But there really isn't much in this Brentford team. They are aggressive. They will tackle. They're brave. But in terms of... oh, my good Lord. In terms of attacking prowess, they're not that great. I, of course, have to worry with these attacking wing-backs. Which is why when we are taking risks like this, we need to score goals. And not waste our chances, which we are doing a lot. Phil supports Man City. Are you having a laugh, Andy? Couldn't be further. In fact, it's the polar opposite, Benj. I'm a Man United supporter for my sins. And have been since probably about 5 years old. Lived through the Ferguson years, lived through the years that were desperate even before that. And then had our 20 years of glory. And now it's desperate again. So we've gone full circle in terms of United. And it's going to be a long time before they're able to recover. A long, long time. And I don't know, I think for me the squad needs a complete clear out. Chance, oh, come on, come on. Oh, come on, boys. Score a goal. Please, FM. This 5 shots, 1 on target nonsense. Can we score a goal? Getting 5 against Stockport League 2 team is fine, but, you know, let us score a goal in the Prem as well. and then they've hit the post as well. And that's having those wing backs on attack. It leaves space in behind. I'm not happy. I'm going to shout at them. Oh, we've given away a penalty, have we? Oh, this is brilliant. I had a funny feeling we would lose this game. The game we should win. I had a funny feeling that that's how FM could be worse, Benj. I just had a funny... Why do I get these feelings, and they're generally correct, that we're not going to be allowed to win this one? A game we should win. Oh, he saved it. Maybe FM heard me and thought, yeah, maybe I am cheating a bit, so maybe I better appease him here and get the penalty saved. I do think this game actually does hear you sometimes. It does hear what you say. People think I'm nuts, but I really do think it listens to you. It's got an audio feature. And it can convert speech to digital instructions. We've lost the plot here. We've just let Brentford take control of this. These boys are having a rollicking at half time. I need to push this line up. Let's be a little bit more aggressive. This team is not performing to its full potential. They should be able to zip this ball around, which they're not. And that was poor. And maybe we do need to put that back. Just snatched at that from anywhere. Oh, come on. Oh, look at that. That'll be Brennan Johnson. My front four have been switched off. Again, FM has a habit of doing this. It just switches them off. It's not how football is played out, but I can understand why FM has to do that. That's a penalty, ref. It's learned swearing from you, and possibly from me, Andy, as well. Sometimes, like, on YouTube here, I really have to curb myself. Like, oh, come on, boys. Like, at this times like this, if I'm playing on my own, I would really be swearing at it. Because it's like you just feel like the game is cheating. It's going like every shot you have is going whistling over the bar, and you just feel like the game is cheating. So my language becomes very colourful. We need to close down the right-hand side. So Pedro Porro is going on to a support duty. It's pretty poor. This is very poor. All these good players that I have who can't play football. What sort of a pass was that? Well, that was decent. Was that a penalty, ref? No, he's giving it the other way. But what was really interesting is that FM does this, and it's got more and more apparent over the last 2 years, where that switch is flicked and your forwards can't score, no matter who you put up top. And we saw a classic example in the Juventus save, where we went 18 games without losing, winning 16 of them, and then lost. We lost 5 of the next 7 or 8 games because our forwards just simply couldn't score. After that, we won 7 of the last 8 games. So you can clearly see the switch. And if you play FM enough and do enough seasons and enough saves, you can just see where the switch happens. And it's a piece of coding. And I'm not happy with these boys, and they're going to have a rollicking at halftime. It's just a piece of code in the game. It's cheap coding. It's old coding. Going back, some people think it goes back 14 years. Right, this isn't good enough. Absolutely unacceptable. We'll send them out with that ringing in their ears to see if it changes things. And then I might have to just try and slow the game down and keep possession and play for a draw. Man United winning again, thrashing Wolves again. This game is not real, is it? I wish that was in real life. Let's demand more from him. This is like... I'm going to ask them to be more disciplined. They are not doing as they're told. I mean, we've been really lucky. They missed the penalty or we would be behind. And in fact, they are going to score, aren't they? You can tell what's happening here. Right, I need to make some changes to the tactic completely. Because we're not looking very dangerous in the slightest. And in fact, we're in grave danger of losing this now. Okay, so we'll go back to balanced. Oh, we already are imbalanced. Players, Brennan Johnson, waste of time. Brian Gill can come on. Again, Pedro's not playing very well. It's impossible to get a forward. Emerson, no, not Emerson. Who's the other geezer? Sessignon can come on. And I'm going to play wing backs now. On support. I'm going to push the Segundo forward. These two can stay on attack. And because he's going further forward, he's not an advanced forward, he's not a pressing forward. Poacher's never worked for me in FM. And I'm going to put Sessignon on attack and go positive. Let's try that. At the moment, it's appalling, to be frank. Brentford, of all teams, are actually giving us an absolute thumping. Here's the goal. Nope. Somehow we've managed to defend it. What am I doing wrong here? Or have I just fixed it? That's too easy. They just have stopped playing again, haven't they? Win in the cups and then struggle to get anything in the league. And you've just got to wait until the game says, yeah, okay, you're back now. And as we saw at Juventus, you do come back eventually. Once the game's had its fun at your expense, ha ha ha, at your expense. You do come back eventually. But at the moment, they can't beat anybody. Can't even score a goal. I'm thinking of actually going down to a cautious mentality as well. And I might even go into a mid-block. Come off the counter-press and just counter-attack at speed. Let's take that off. Because at the moment, it's just nothing is working. And I don't think it will matter. I mean, you can put any tactic on the pitch at this point in time, and you're not getting results. This is one of those times. You can put any personnel on the pitch, but in 6 games' time, they will be scoring for fun. And that's what... This is the biggest part of this game that I do not like. It just looks so silly. Because you see it save after save after save. The switch. One shot on target. We've had, I think, 3 shots on target in the last 2 games. Nobody really. There's no one person who's dominating this game. I just don't get it. I really don't get it. I'm going to berate them. Because they're just simply not good enough. Against, you play well against Manchester City and Liverpool, but you can't score goals. But you get a 0-0 draw. And I still haven't scored a goal against Brentford. And then it goes and does something really silly and you score 5 against Stockport in the Cup. And that's supposed to make you feel better. But it doesn't make you feel better. Because if they can't score goals, why are they able to score goals against Stockport? Sarr is rubbish. I wish I'd sold him in the transfer window. It's got to come off. I mean, Brentford are not sitting back, so really going into a mid-block is not a great idea because they're not sitting back. They're actually giving us a thumping, and I'm going into a mid-block to play for a draw against Brentford because we can't score. Now, they are brave, they are aggressive, so let's take that off then as well. And let's say dribble less, pass it more. It's the only thing that Brentford have got is bravery and aggression. There's nothing else in their attributes worth thinking about. See? You cannot score. I don't know about this game. I hope FM25 is going to be better because this is doing my head in sometimes. Every save, every season is the same. Right, let's get some of this rubbish off the pitch. Gill, rubbish. Pedro, his best score has been 6.6, mostly 6.5 and 6.4. Kulusevski can come out here, and Lo Celso can come on for Porro. And João Neves for Sarr. It's painful to have to play a mid-block to get a 0-0 draw against a team like Brentford. Because if you're more attacking, why is that on positive and the other one is on balanced? This is another little bit of annoyment, as it were. Oh, I thought that was the goal. I still think we're going to lose it. We've got one shot on target, and combine that with the 2 shots we had on target in the last game. It's pathetic. I really do hope FM25 is going to be better than this. I really hope. Because this is dreadful. Well, at the moment, the table was saying then we're in 3rd. Well, when did Brentford get this good? What happened there? It was kind of like a third of a highlight. We saw the goalkeeper save something. Right, I'm going to slow everything down now. We're going to have to play for a draw. Unbelievable. Well, actually, it's not unbelievable. It's what you expect. There's no way I should be playing for a draw against Brentford. Let's bring him back onto a support duty as well now. And it's the usual suspects again, your front players, who can't hit a barn door to save their life. I don't know why I paid 58 million for that forward. Oh my God, 58 million for somebody who is an average of about 6.4. I've never bought a forward in FM24 who's been able to score any goals. I've never had one. And Langstaff, I think, almost made me quit the game. What the worst forward ever in the world. I couldn't get rid of him. I tried to sell him twice. Just like would not go away. I've in all the 6 months of this game now, I've never had a forward who could score goals. Keep buying these players, but they never come up to their reputation. I knew it. I knew we were going to lose. I sometimes think this is the most stupid game in the world. Back down to 5th. I don't want to watch this nonsense. I do. I sometimes think this is the most stupid game in the world. It's so predictable. I called it. We're going to lose this. So predictable. Oh boy. I don't know. We'll just sit back. We'll play the tactic. I'm not going to mess about like I did with Juventus and Bournemouth. We're running the tactic, and whatever the results that it gives me for the next 10 games is what they're going to be. And come on, ref, penalty. And whatever the results are, I'm not changing the tactic, not doing anything, because all that does is wind me up. And the game will decide, okay, now we'll let you off and you're back in it. The game will decide. And it didn't take too long. I think it was 9 games for Juventus. And I think it was about the same for Bournemouth before it let me play again. And we'll just do it that way. When it starts giving me results again. It's interesting, though, how we can still score 5 in the Cup. And it was interesting how, with Juventus, we could still score in Europe. There was no problem. We just couldn't score in the league. Yeah, you just... it wasn't their fault. It's the game. It's nothing to do with the players. I'm not going to be harsh on the players. It's nothing to do with them. It's the game. And the game thinks it's smart, but it's not. Okay, so pathetic is the words I'd use. Next time we got Newcastle, Sheffield United and Burnley. No points coming up from there, because these are games that we should be winning. We'll recover somewhere around Everton, I'm guessing. So put your seatbelts on. It's going to be a rough ride of poor results all the way up to Everton or Luton. Then we'll recover. But remarkably, it will keep us in this area of the table until we recover. That's my prediction. Wait and see. You'll see that that's how it works out. Even though we have all those dreadful results coming up, it'll still keep us in 5th or 6th, so that when we do recover, we'll have a chance of getting into the top 4. That's how it was with Juventus. That's how it's been with Bournemouth. That's how it's been with Coritiba. That's how the game works. Okay, rant over. Thanks for coming, guys. I don't know what to do. It's just strange. Let's just call it strange. And we'll be back on Tuesday for more disasters, because this is going to turn into a disaster zone. And then after Tuesday, maybe on Thursday, we'll start to come out of it. Thanks for coming. Appreciate your support, guys. And going to call it a day there. It's now coming up to 10 o'clock. And already I'm fed up with this Tottenham save. I don't know if I'll ever find one that's realistic. So I'll say goodnight, and we'll be back on Tuesday. Thanks for coming, guys. Take care, and we'll see you soon.